I'm gonna rank every single farm from Minecraft Bedrock, from iron farms to things as insignificant as Netherwart. Not that anything is insignificant, every farm is of equal value. There is no better. There simply is. Now this is what we in the showbiz call an exposition. This is the part of the video where I explain how things work and you follow along. This is my tier list, these are my farms, and we will be ranking them based on their usefulness in survival Minecraft. I am 1UpMC and have made over 300 tutorials over the last 6 years. If a farm is on this list, chances are it's in the playlist linked below. Alright, I'm gonna try my best to keep this list semi-organized, so we're gonna start off with food farms, and the first farm we're gonna be ranking is the cow farm, which is the easiest A of my life. It is not automatic. If it was an automatic cow farm, if that was possible, easiest S, but because it is not AFKable, it has to be bumped down to A tier. It's easy to build early game, it's gonna give you great food late game, it is just a good farm overall. Next up we have the chicken farm, which is AFKable, however with the rates, I can't put it in S tier, because it is just not as good of a food source as having steak, but because it is AFKable and you can just come back after 12 hours, it is deserving of an A spot. Next up we have the AFK fish farm, and now the AFK fish farm is the easiest S of my life because it is arguably the best farm in the game. It'll get you mending books, it's incredibly easy to build, and if you have access to an auto clicker, then it should literally be like one of the first things you build. On the other hand though, the automatic fish farm, the one where you will never miss a catch, is unfortunately going to have to go in B tier. It is good because it is efficient and you won't miss a fish, however because it is not AFKable, it really can't be any higher than B tier. Next, we're going to be ranking crop farms, starting off with the nano crop farm. This has a special place in my heart because I just love small builds, and this can fit in a 3x3 area. And for that, it is going to have to be in B tier, because it does use quite a bit of bone meal, but it is still super cool as a build. Next up, we have a cactus farm, which is gonna go in D tier. There is very little utility for a cactus farm. This is honestly, like, if you're trying to get materials late game in survival mode, that's when you build a cactus farm. I don't know anybody who builds a cactus farm as like one of their first farms. It is not very useful. Next up is the villager crop farm, which I think is actually one of the better farms. Not quite S tier, but because it is AFKable, I do think that it is an easy A. Next is cocoa. I am gonna be honest, I don't know how to say that word. I know it's a word that I see all the time, but I don't know which one it is. Cocoa, yeah, okay. Anyways, this is going to be a D tier as well, because who is farming this? The only thing that you can make is cookies and brown dye. And so unless you're trying to murder a bunch of parrots, there's not a huge reason to farm this automatic. It is easier to just have a jungle plank and then grow some of them automatically. Next is the sugarcane farm, and even though that this uses bone meal, I think that it is extremely good, especially early game, and it is going to get you those easy enchantment books. Therefore, it is an S tier farm. Next is the melon and pumpkin farm, which again is completely automatic, not quite S tier. However, you can trade these with villagers, and we will rank villager trading halls later, but that does make them pretty useful. Next up is bamboo, which is very much more useful now that we can make bamboo planks, and for that I am going to put it in B tier because again, who really wants to have a bunch of bamboo laying around? It really just fills up a bunch of chests with clutter. Next is the kelp XP farm, and I know this just says kelp farm, but imagine it says kelp XP farm. That is going to be an easy S. It is great for getting you fuel or food or XP, whatever you want, bone meal. It is just an all-around farm that you can AFK at, and it's just good. Next is the netherwart farm, which I'm not even sure if this can be automatically farmed, and for that I'm going to go ahead and place it in F tier because I actually don't know why I added this. I made this list like a week ago, so I don't know why this is here, unless I'm mistaken. Next is the flower farm, which I again think is a C tier because I think flowers are a little underrated. I think everywhere could use more flowers. That's why I end up making all of my videos in this little sunflower field with all of these pretty little flowers. So I am a huge proponent, a huge believer in flowers, so therefore it is a C tier because again, not extremely useful, but definitely useful if you are seeking out large quantities of flowers. Next up is the mangrove propagule farm, propagule, and it is going to be a D tier as well, because I personally have never wanted to farm these things, but you can if you want to. It's there. Okay, this is probably going to be the largest portion of the video. We're going to be ranking mob farms next, and starting off with the AFK slime farm. Now, the AFK slime farm is an absolutely incredible farm. It is fun to watch, it looks awesome when you build it, and it is going to give you so many slime balls. But again, this list is about survival usefulness, and for that, I think it can't go any higher than B tier. And actually, because of that, we're ranking on survival usefulness. I would say that a manual slime farm is actually higher than an AFK slime farm, because all you have to do is mine out a slime chunk. And let's be honest, once you get a stack or two of slime, are you ever going to use more slime than that? Like, I get if you want to do redstone builds later on. That's why this is in B tier. But I would say that most people just need a manual slime chunk that you can farm. Next is the wither skeleton farm, which is going to give you wither skeleton skulls. And I think that this is an easy S tier. I mean, you're obviously going to need wither skeleton skulls, and they are always annoying to collect, especially when you're trying to kill your wither skeletons manually. Dying to the wither effect, it is just so much more efficient to have a wither skeleton farm. Next is the hoglin farm, which I'm actually going to put a little bit lower. I'm gonna say B tier. It's good if you want to live in the nether full time, but generally I would say this isn't necessarily a particularly useful farm, because there are better food farms like the cow farm. Next is the trident farm, or drowned farm, copper farm, whatever you want to call it, and I am going to put it in S tier. Every one of my farms basically requires a trident killer, or any of my AFK farms basically require a trident killer, so you are going to need plenty of tridents, which is why I would place it in S tier. Next is the witch farm, which I am going to place in S tier again, because it is going to get you gunpowder super easily. It is way easier to build than a creeper farm, and it produces just about the same amount of gunpowder, if not maybe a little bit more. Next is the Enderman farm, which I am going to place in... Oh, I'm stuck between B and A. I'll put it in A tier because I feel like some of you guys are going to be mad at me if I put it in B tier. So it is going to go in A tier simply because I'm trying to appease the masses. Next is a spawner farm, which is extremely useful early game, and that is going to put it in A tier as well. I think that these things have been tried and true. They've been being built for over a decade for a reason. They work, they're efficient, and they will get you all of the levels that you will need, while being AFK-able as well. Next, we're going to be ranking the Raid XP farm, which I am going to say it used to definitely be an S tier, but because of the ominous potion bottles and you can't just automatically get the raid effect, they're no longer AFK-able. So I am going to place it in, I'm tempted to put in C tier, but I know it's probably B tier because you can still get Totems of Undying, but the fact it's not AFK-able anymore, it really annoys me. It used to be S tier, it was so easily S, but now it can't be any higher than B, just because I'm upset about it. Next is the Shulker farm, which I'm going to be honest, unless you were playing late game and trying to grind to get like hundreds of Shulker boxes, just a simple end raid is going to be more than enough Shulker shells for you. So I'm going to say that is a C tier. Next is general mob farms, and this again is an easy S, because this is going to get you, I believe, like 50 levels every hour and over 3 double chests worth of drops, which I think out of all of these, this is probably one of the more drop efficient farms on the list. Next is the Blaze farm, which I am going to place in C tier. It's not quite D, but honestly, they're kind of annoying to build. They're not super efficient, and they take a while to kill the blazes because blazes can fly out of the trident killer. Next is the gold farm, which I am going to place in A tier. I don't think it is quite S tier, just because I think I have to make this list a little bit interesting. So no. This should be like, okay, it is going to be an S tier. I just feel like I'm filling up S too quick, but it is definitely an S tier. It's going to get you plenty of XP, plenty of gold, over 1,000 gold every single hour, and it's going to get you to level 100 every single hour. So who was I kidding? It's definitely an S tier. It's probably one of the best farms in the game. Next is the magma farm, which I'm going to say is a, it's probably a D tier. I mean, magma farms and froglight farms kind of go hand in hand, but I would say that magma, unless you're making tons of fire resistance potions or you want to make a giant floor pad that will hurt people, magma is not really something that you need to farm. It's not super useful, it's more just late game. Next is the creeper farm, which I think is A tier, because truthfully, if you're gonna build a creeper farm, just build a mob farm or build a witch farm, because the witch farm is probably more efficient than any creeper farm that you will build. Next is the guardian farm, which is my favorite farm in all of Minecraft. It just holds so much nostalgia for me, but I've never built one, I don't think. And I would say it's probably B tier. I wouldn't say it's quite A, just because, again, it's a little annoying to set up, and there are better XP farms out there, and Prismarine is kind of like it's a very choice block. You either love it or you hate it, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Oh, and we have one more in my inventory, and that is the ghast farm. And I would say that the ghast farm is actually A tier, because I think ghast tiers are useful for end crystals, instant potions of health or whatever, and again, gunpowder. So I would say ghast farm is an easy A. Okay, this is where the list is gonna get messy, because like, what is this? What are we even ranking? Alright, from this point forward, it's basically miscellaneous, because my categories were doo-doo from the beginning. So the next farm we're going to be ranking is the iron farm, and I bet you'll never guess where it's going to go. It is going in S tier. It is probably, you know what, actually, there we go. Iron farm in above S tier. Doesn't even have a category. I think iron farms are super fun to build, super easy to build, and iron's probably the most useful resource. You will have infinite iron armor, which to me is always an advantage, because I don't really like crafting diamond armor or netherite armor. I am an iron armor man, and that might be a little crazy to some of you guys. But let's move on to the egg farm, which is honestly just a half-built chicken farm, and for that, it's going in C tier. Not much utility. You might as well build a chicken farm. Or you probably were building a chicken farm, but you forgot to build half of it. So that is why egg farms are going in C. Next is light game. That was the thing I just picked up. Next is going to be a disc farm, which is going to go in C tier. Because, I mean, not super useful in survival mode, but if you are trying to collect all of the discs, then this is definitely a farm that you should look into. They're actually really cool, and they work extremely well. Next is the Froglight farm, and it's going to go right with the magma farm, because they're basically the same farm, except you have to have frogs eating the magmas, and they'll poop out froglights, which I don't really get, but whatever. Next is the squid farm, or glow squid farm, and honestly, that's probably also going to go in D tier, because who really needs that much ink? I mean, you go and kill a couple squids and you're pretty much good, but you know what, actually, no. Black dye, I think squid ink is the only way you can get black dye, and for that, it's going to have to go in C tier. Next is a mob head farm, and similar to the disc farm, unless you're collecting all the heads or you like them as trophies, not particularly useful, so it's going to go in C tier. And then we have the lava farm, which is actually extremely good if you want it to use it as fuel, and for that, I'm going to place it in B tier, because again, lava, not super useful. However, this is an AFK-able farm, so I think that it is going to be an easy B. If we go ahead and grab the rest of the stuff in my inventory, finish this list off, well, actually, not finish this list off, we have all of this left. Next, we're going to rank the Armadillo XP farm, which I would say is, again, an easy S. This thing is going to basically just create XP out of nothing. It's super easy to build. All you need is that potion of infestation, and then all of the levels you could ever want. Next is the fish bone meal farm, which is probably my preferred bone meal farm, which is why it's going to go in A tier. I think it is significantly more efficient than the moss bone meal farm, which I guess I didn't name this moss bone meal farm. But you can use the moss bone meal farm if you want to not kill fish, I guess. But personally, I think that the benefits don't outweigh the cons. Does that make sense? But I would say that the moss farm is going to be a C tier, because it is just significantly less efficient than the fish bone meal farm. Next is turtle scoop farm, and this is again probably going to be an F tier, because it's literally good for one thing. You make your little helmet and then you never need it again. And for that, it doesn't really even deserve to be on this list. Why are we farming this? Next is the Amethyst farm, which is going to go in D tier because I actually kind of like amethyst blocks. They make a cute little chime when you walk on them. And yeah. Next is the Wool farm, which is probably one of the first farms that you should build as soon as you get observers. And for that, it is going to go in A tier because with that wool, you can make beds, which will then allow you to go bed mining, which then you can get tons of netherite. This is actually looking really cool. Damn. I think I lied when I said it was disorganized because these are just your classic building block resource farms. And so first up we have a snow farm or snow layers farm, which is going to go in D tier because let's be honest, who needs large quantity of snow? I mean, if I'm gonna go mine snow, I'd probably just get an efficiency 5 shovel rather than setting up the golems and everything else. And yeah. Next up is the cobblestone farm, which unless you're playing Skyblock, and for some reason you guys love when I do cobblestone farm designs, but in general, I'm gonna say cobblestone farms is a D tier because you should have more than enough cobblestone from going mining. Unless you have Silk Touch, which in that case just don't use Silk Touch. So cobblestone farm is going to be D tier, not super useful unless you're playing Skyblock. Next is a wood farm or a tree farm, and because I don't understand how wither killers work or if they're even possible anymore, I'm gonna say that tree farms are going to go in C tier because, yeah, I mean, you basically still have to manually mine the trees down, but it does put it into a convenient little square for you, so that way you can mine all of the wood extremely quickly. Next up is an obsidian farm, and this kind of has to go hand in hand with a lava farm, which is why I think it has to go one thing down, because the lava farm doesn't rely on the obsidian farm, but the obsidian farm relies on the lava farm, so therefore it can't be in the same tier. But I do think obsidian farms are actually quite cool, and they're actually quite fun to build, and they look pretty efficient as well. Or like, wait, no, they look industrial. There we go. Next is the ice farm, and I think ice farms are gonna go in F tier because let's be honest, who is farming ice? Ice is just mine an iceberg, and I mean this is like the baby ice. This is the weak ice. You can't generate blue ice, and blue ice is like 81 of these, I think, or like maybe even more. But yeah, so definitely ice farm F tier. Just go mine an iceberg. Next is a skulk farm, and I'm gonna place this in D tier just because I think there are way better ways of getting XP, but early on, I mean, farming some skulk is pretty nice. Next is a basalt farm, which is a nether farm, and, well, I guess it doesn't have to be built in the nether, but who's really gonna, it's kind of like, where did I put cobblestone? It's gonna go with cobblestone. Oh, so I didn't realize it wasn't done this row. So skulk, wait, oh my god, I'm getting so messed up. Basalt and cobblestone are about the same, because I mean, you can just go to the nether and mine a ton of basalt. There's not a huge reason to farm it manually. Next is a mud farm, and I'm probably gonna put a mud farm in C tier. I think mud is actually a pretty cool block because it allows you to pick up blocks through hoppers, or like a hopper can be underneath, and because it's not a full block, it will be picked up. So like you can plant sugarcane on this, and then it'll, yeah, okay. I think you get what I'm saying. And lastly is our utility farms. So these won't necessarily generate you anything, however, they're kind of like a machine that will convert one thing to another. That was a really over-the-top explanation, but we're gonna do a gravity farm, which I think is one of the most efficient farms in Bedrock, but I personally think they're kind of cheating, so for that, they're going in F tier. I don't think you need to duplicate your items. Gravity farm, F tier. Pass it around. We don't support these. Next up is villager trading halls. And I would say villager trading halls are a pretty important part of the game. I would even put it in A tier because of that diamond armor that you can trade for with villagers and mending. It's an easy A. Like, if you're playing into the mid to late game, start a villager trading hall. Then we have the auto brewery, which again, like the nano crop farm, holds a super special place in my heart because I made a super special design that I like that is 3x3, and it is perfect, and I love it, and it is going to be an A tier, and that is purely just because I like my design. Next is the auto crafter, which I think is, I'm also going to put in A tier because it is just going to turn like your iron farm into an iron block farm, and that is super cool. Then we have the super smelter, which is an easy S tier, whoops, because I believe that everyone should be smelting their things 8 times faster. And if you want to go one step above, there's like a 128 version that smelts things 128 times faster. That's a little overkill for me, but if you're one of those people, it's out there. Then we have the piglin bartering stations, and I would say that this is an easy B tier because I'm not trying to speedrun the game. I don't necessarily need ender pearls, and I mean, if you got large quantities of gold, then yeah, maybe set this up and have it be automatic, and that would be quite cool and get all those drops. But in general, I would say it is a B tier farm, so to speak. And lastly, we have Concrete Maker. And I think that this is a very important utility if you are going to be building with concrete, especially because unlike Java, you can't like offhand, on-hand or whatever. So you actually have to place it, water it, and then go and mine it. And because of that, I would say that the Concrete Maker is also going to be in B tier because it's pretty niche, but if you're going to use concrete, it is super important, especially in the Bedrock version of the game. Wow, that looks really cool. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a weird one for me, but I thought it was pretty fun, and considering I've made so many farms, I thought it was about time I ranked them. Again, any of these videos or tutorials that you want to find will be in the playlist linked in the description, so go ahead and find that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to subscribe and leave a like. My name is 1UpMC, and I will catch you guys in the next one.